Hi everybody, it's Diana with stampingwithdi.com. Welcome to my channel. I am so excited to use these new masks. I played around with them and I definitely have some tips for you because I was a little confused. It does not take much to confuse me. So I was trying to make them harder than they really are. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to show those and actually teach you something, because sometimes I feel like my Teach Me Tuesdays, I just color, I hope I teach you something, but, sometimes I think I'm just enjoying my time with you. So, so definitely I have something brand new to show you. These are going to be available in January because they are in the January to June mini catalog. So you should be getting this in the mail very soon. And I sent letters out to everybody that I sent catalogs to, just to kind of like let you know that you should be watching for them. And then that way, if you don't get it, you can holler at me so I can have Stampin' Up! Send you another one. All right, if you are a demonstrator, when you go to place your demonstrator order, I know mine, I got one because I did the on stage, but then when I put a demonstrator order in, it like popped up there, right? Like for my catalog to be in the order. So, there's that. So let's see who all is here. Oh, we have a whole bunch of people. Oh, okay, it's like romper room. I see Barbara and Ginny and Karen. Rhonda, hey, Virginia, Dawn, Ann. Oh, yeah. So I got mine the other day, Rhonda. I always send myself one when I do the customer selector, because then I know, okay, if I've got mine, then they're out and about, right? All right, so hey Di, I'm just reading. Oh my God, doesn't take much to get me confused too. Hey Candy, Karen, Teresa, I probably repeat names, right? So we have a good gang here today. We haven't yet from Australia. Hey Sherry. So let's get started. I'm gonna stop blabbing. All right, let me turn the phone so we can get started. All right. So these are the butterflies and flowers layering decorative masks. And you get, there's quite a few of them in here. So you have butterflies and there's a flower on top of there. Now this one I used the other day. Remember, I did the cute little kitty. So this is where I got that one. And then that's one of the calendars that's available if you pick the goodies in the guts. So if you order 75 in December, you can pick goodies and guts. And the kitty calendar is actually one you can choose. There's also this one. Now these ones, see, I'm going to be using the sponges. I don't know necessarily if I would be using this one. I think I would use this one more with the paste, because you can use it with the paste. This one is very flimsy. So to me, this one would be a little hard to use. I love this one. This one makes me think of like Mexican tile. Oh, what is it? What's that? The tile on the floor, saltatio or whatever. And you have the blues and the oranges. That's what that one kind of reminds me of. All right, but then you have these two. So these are the ones I'm going to be using today. Now I have got tape on them and marks, and that just is going to help me explain things. All right. So what else am I using today? All right. So I'm also going to be using the Wildflower Path. There's not a whole lot of stamping, just my greetings. And the Eclectic Garden. Both of these are January mini catalog as well. All right. I also need grid sheets because it's a little messy. All right. So I'm going to show you some things that I learned while I was doing it. All right. So I don't really need that right now. All right. So here's the first one that I kind of played with, right? So I was using 2 different color inks. And I was trying to line them up. I'm like, I don't really know how this is working. I just had scrap paper. And that just is like a muddy kind of mess or whatever. So then I was playing around with some more. So So again, I was using the 2 colors of inks, and I thought, well, maybe I'll use 2 different colors of inks. And then that was okay. You know, then I was like finally figuring out, oh, I was using the mask wrong. And then I figured just use 1 ink pad. So then here is this here, and then you could see, you know, I wasn't paying attention. Now, granted, this is just scrap, right? But it taught me, okay, I have to be very careful, you know, when I'm using my blending brush. Just because it's so exciting, right? You're doing this whole thing. You're not paying attention that you're actually going off the mask. And I was getting color around. All right. So those are my playing pieces. All right. So let's see what I'm using today. I am using... All right, so we have the inside of the card, and I'm using shimmery. I had so much fun with the shimmery the other day that I'm like, you know what? I'm going to use shimmery again. All right, and I'm also using Magenta Madness. It's such a pretty, pretty color. All right, so I want to make sure I've got, so this is the front of the card. All right. And I also want to do the envelope, so don't let me forget to do the envelope. All right, so then when I finally figured out, just use 1 ink. I mean, you can use 2, but I had more luck by just using 1 color. So I picked the Magenta Madness because that's what the cardstock is. I also made myself a little note on the top of the mask so that when I go to use them again, it will remind me. Now, the mask, if you feel, this is kind of shiny. So that's what I picked as my top. I figured the blending brush would... move on it, you know, easier, because this side is a little bit dull. So I'm thinking that, you know, that's just going to tell me which is the front and which is the back. I also, with Post-it tape, hey Joanne, Post-it tape, and this is just Post-it note, I covered up these 2 because I didn't want to use them, because I found that I wasn't paying attention and I was catching the edge of those. So I just covered the little ones up that I didn't want. All right, so let's bring our shimmery paper over, and I'm going to put my mask in the corner here, like that. Then I'm going to take some more of this Post-it note tape, and I'm going to put it up here. This will hold the mask on here. I mean, I'm holding it with my fingers as well, but I also see this is kind of close to the edge. I was getting my blending brush up here a little bit. Like you just kind of don't pay attention, right? So that's just gonna, there's Brenton. We were waiting for you. All right. All right, so let's get blow my fuzz off on my pad. All right, so I have just my Magenta Madness, and I'm just off to the side because I scooted down a little bit so you could see. So off to the side, I'm just getting my ink on here. So I'm holding here, so I'm holding the cardstock. This also is holding it. Get a little bit of the color off. And then we're just coming over and we're blending right through. And I'm not pushing super hard because it is delicate. And then I was like, I liked using the skinnier one first. All right, so there's that. And I'm going to peel this off. Peel, peel, peel. And just kind of be aware of what's on your fingers, right? All right. So see how pretty that is? So we have our die on there. All right, so this is what I did right here. So then you just simply move this up. And what you want to do is you want to line up. There's like circles. So see, there's a circle, and you can see through the die or the mask as well. So I'm just putting my circles, and I can see that these lines, so let me scoot down a little bit. So I can see like these lines are matching up, and see, this is where I was. So it just kind of is like a puzzle almost. So you just want, and at first I was confused. I'm like, well, now I'm going to be going over top of what I already did. And then that's when I was like, oh, I want to choose the same color. All right, so I want to put a little bit of tape there just because I have a little bit of paper exposed down there. All right. So that's why I was like, it's just easier to use the same color ink. All right, so then I'm going to come over here. I'm going to get some more of my Magenta Madness. Get a little bit off of there. And then that's why these are covered again, right? They're still covered. Now I'm going right over top. And now you're going to get like a double dose, basically, of magenta, because now you're going over twice, right? Where you already were. And then when you peel it, so again, your fingers are kind of messy, so be careful. Look how cool that is. Let me scoot it up because it's hard to see. Let me scoot it up. Let me scoot it up. My fingers are a mess. So look how cool that is. So that's just Magenta Madness twice. Oh, I know, right? Hey, Marcy. So Brenton, you definitely want it, like, I don't know how much they are. I should have looked it up. I don't think they're very much, but look how cool that is. That's just with the one ink pad. All right. Then, all right, so hang on a minute. While I have the pink one out, let's do the inside. So here's my inside piece. So we're just basically going to do the same thing, but I'm going to go back and add some leaves. All right, so hang on a minute. So that's why I have this thing with the word top, right? So then I know I haven't flipped it over by accident. All right, so now the inside of the card, I just want just a little bit of a flower. So same thing, cover this up. Just be really careful. Just know where you are when you're doing the blending. All right, so then we're going to do the same thing. Light, light, light. And then get more on it and go over it again. So when you pick your colors, you want to pick colors, if you are going to mix and match, just pick colors that go together. So I didn't try these, but I thought, you know what, these might look good. The Fresh Freesia and the Highland Heather might look good because as you can see, you are going over top where you already were. Oh, you know what? Oh, what a dork. What a crazy girl. Okay, so I did that twice. Hang on a minute. And I forgot to move it up. I'm so crazy. All right, so now we're going to move it up. See, I can't do the video and talk at the same time. All right, so hang on. So we're going to put our mask. So you just basically want it to match up. Now I don't have those circles. All right, there we go. I don't have my little circles. Okay, so now it's going to be really dark. All right, so now we're going to go over like a third time since I already did that. So it's going to be really dark. Super cool. Look how cool that is. Very cool. So there you've got the inside of your card. So it's going to match the outside. Let's do the envelope. So see, just do it all at one time. So now we'll do our envelope. Put your tape. Now there's enough ink on here. I don't need to ink that up for the first go. So see that, then move it, move it, move it, move it. All right. This way the mailman can enjoy your beautiful piece of artwork at the same time. All right, find your circles. That looks good. It's just harder if you don't do all three, right? Because those circles are basically your guide. All right, so I'm probably getting so much ink on my hands. All right, here we go, our third time. So I think you're, getting it figured out. So this was with the blending brushes. All right, and then I'm going to wash my hands before I go to the leaves. All right, so I got a little bit of ink there. Only because, see, this has got ink on it. So my fingers are catching that just from touching it. All right, so off to the side. So then I was just wiping it off with with a baby wipe, you know, in between. All right, so let me wash my hands. Where's my baby wipes? Baby wipes. Here they are. All right, and then we're going to do the leaves. Now the leaves, I'm going to do them a little bit differently. Oh yes, put it on your list. All right, let's see here. Let's put our leaves. All right, so now I'll do that after. All right, so that's the inside. This is the outside. All right, so now we're going to do our leaves. So I did the same thing. I put this tape because there's flowers, right? There's like these big flowers here, and it's just easy to catch, you know, to catch those. So I just covered them up. I'm going to use a Granny Apple Green. Now, I was using the blending brushes, and that's when I was getting more of a mess. So remember I showed you here? So while I was doing these leaves, I wasn't paying attention, and then I was getting green around. So now when I do the leaves, I'm just using the little finger daubers, like the little finger sponge daubers, because then I have more control. All right, so what I'm going to do is, then you can see through the die. And I want to do the same thing. So if you have washi tape would work. You just want something so that when you peel it off, it doesn't tear your cardstock. All right. So then we have our little finger dauber, our Granny Apple. And I'm just picking up my Granny Apple. And instead of rubbing, because they're kind of delicate, I'm just kind of pouncing. I'm just kind of pouncing on there. And then the leaves look kind of mottledy looking. All right, so that's Granny Apple. Let me move that off of there. So see how that tape is protecting that from getting on the card. All right, so we have some leaves there. And let's see here. Let me put a leaf over here. Now this one, it's far enough away that I think I can be careful, but just be cautious, right? Just be aware of that the mask ends there. So we've got leaves there. See, look how cute these leaves are. All right, then I'm going to put a little leaf down here. Now this one, I wasn't cautious with the blending brush and I bent that a little bit. So just be careful. All right, good. All right, and then with the Granny Apple, so that was Granny Apple with the sponge. Then with Garden Green, I want to add a few darker leaves only because there's a couple different flowers in here. So I wanted them to have a few different little leaves. Let's see here. So I like that you can see through and you can kind of be picky where your leaves are. So now I'm just going to do Garden Green. So I've got a little different color leaf there. So see, I've got a little bit different color leaf there. And down here. So you can see right through. And I'm going to cover this up. Just because I don't want that leaf. And this is a good time to close your pads, right? Especially when you're using the finger daubers. Because if you're not paying attention, you're like just daubering in the wrong color ink pad. All right, so there's a few different color greens. Super cute. But isn't that beautiful? Oh my gosh, I love it so much. And then it's up to you if you add any green to the inside or your leaves, but you would do it the same way. All right, so I'm just going to put those masks out of the way. I'm going to just quickly wipe my fingers off because you don't want to mess your card up, right? You get it all beautiful and then you go, oh, you know, you got your dirty fingers on it. All right. So baby wipes are your friend for sure. All right. So let's flip this over and we'll use the back side of the grid sheet. All right. So let's do our greeting. So I didn't want to use black because I was using Misty Moonlight cardstock. So that's the color ink I chose for my greeting. Because sometimes you want to use other colors, right? You don't want to just always use like black. So anyways, all right. So I loved the saying in these two right here. But I say wildflower path. It says, do not go where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail. Isn't that a nice saying? And so I thought that would be perfect to use with these pretty flowers. So then I'm just inking it up in my Misty Moonlight. And then I'm just going to come over to the card. And I'm actually stamping over some of the flower. This is a great card. There's hardly any dimension to it, right? I mean, it's just as it is. All right, let me do the inside as well. So here's the inside of the card. And then this is where I chose the other one. And then this one says, sending bright wishes for a happy day. And the fonts are a little bit different, but they're still writing. So I liked putting them together. So there's the inside. Let's see. I'm like looking around to see what else. Let's see what else that I didn't do. Oh, because look at this one's got some fun little speckles. So that would be cute. Makes me think. Should I go off script and add some splatters? Let's see. Nah, I'm not going to. But you totally could, right? You could add some little speckles. But I'm not going to. I'm just going to keep it nice and plain and controlled. All right. So let's put this on the inside. Get that out of there. All right. So the inside of our beautiful magenta manas. Isn't this such a pretty pink? Oh my gosh. I love this pink. So there we have. So I didn't put any leaves on this one. All right, so let's layer these up. So I just chose the Misty Moonlight cardstock because that's the ink that I used for the greeting. And these are such, oh, the sentiment. Yes, Brenton. It is so nice. And I love the font that is used. So look at how cool that is. Oh my gosh. Just so easy. And that's what, you know. Oh, now I just glued this right on. I'll show you the other one. I popped it up with some dimensionals, but this one I glued directly on. And then I wanted to add some bling. So we're going to use the new brushed brass butterflies. Say that 5 times fast. And my little pick tool. And I'm just going to put one. And I'm just putting it over here. So it looks like it's part of the greeting. So there is that. Isn't that beautiful? So, okay, this is the one I was looking at. So this is the one I did earlier. And then I did put leaves on the inside of that one. But then I thought, while I have you here, let's see how it does. So this one has not been practiced, all right? So this one, I'm going to try to mix these two together. But what I need to do is I need to wipe these off. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my, is this the sheet I used? Yeah. I'm going to flip this over. And I'm just going to take my baby wipes. And I'm just wiping it off. What's kind of cool is the colors go through so it kind of gets on your grid sheet. All right. And then, so see all of that ink I'm taking off? All right. And then you can use a tissue, your pants, paper towel, whatever. You just want to kind of dry it. So when you're all the way done, I would take it over to the sink and wash it, you know, super, super good. But for now, we're just kind of getting that pink off of there. So that looks pretty good. All right, so let's try 2 different colors. All right, so we're going to try the Fresh Freesia. So this is, we're going to do the very same. I'm just changing the colors. All right, so we need Fresh Freesia. So that is a new blending brush. Because I don't think I have a Fresh Freesia. This is going off script. And a Highland Heather. I thought I had a Highland Heather. All right, so we're going to do 2 new brushes. All right, so we're going to do the same thing, but now we're going to try 2 different colors. All right, so I want the light one first. All right, so we're going to do Fresh Freesia, and we'll see how these look. Just because you have to, oh yes, a very good encouragement card. You want colors that are going to complement each other and not turn into mud, right? So I'm hoping that these 2 are enough different that they'll be okay. All right, so Highland Heather. And then we'll find out that yes or no. All right, so Highland Heather is the first coat. So it's really light. Let me get a little bit more. So Highland Heather. And then I need to keep that with that pad so I can mark my thingy, mark my brush. All right, so that looks good. Let me peel that off of there. So there's the Highland Heather as our first coat. And now, not Highland Heather, Fresh Freesia. Sorry, that was Fresh Freesia. All right, now we're going to scoot it up, remember? Because like when I was playing with it, for some reason I was turning it. I don't know what I was doing, but I didn't think about just going up, right? Because I was trying to make it more harder than it was. All right, so get our circles in alignment. All right, put this back. And then I've covered. So my flowers are just in a little different spot this time. So I didn't have to worry about this, right? All right. So now our Highland Heather. Let's see how this looks. Oh, look at what I did. Crazy. I went like this instead of like this. This is just our plain one anyways. All right. Ooh, so that doesn't look bad. So there's those 2 colors together. So I probably could have went over. I probably could have did the Highland or the Freesia a little bit darker, right? Because I just grabbed these 2. I probably could have did the Fresh Freesia a little bit darker. So let's just see. Let's flip it over. Nah, this one's just for play. Let's see. Let's see. We're having fun. We're just friends having fun. All right. Put this on here. So I'm going to make my Fresh Freesia be a little bit darker. Because Highland Heather is a darker. So let's see. So this is my Fresh Freesia, and it's scooted a little bit. My Fresh Freesia, I inked it up a little bit more, and I'm pushing it probably a little bit harder. All right. And then let's try. Let's see. So that is definitely darker. You can tell I scooted it a little bit. But what's fun is these are flowers, right? And nature is very forgiving in regards to stamping. All right, so let's see. So now we'll see the difference. So by doing it on the same side, we can compare them. So this is making them be a little bit darker just because it's two different color inks. All right, let's see. Oh, so see, you can see that a little bit better because I made it a little bit darker. So see, those colors look good together. It almost reminds me of, you know, those glasses when you'd go to the 3D theater and you'd put the 3D glasses on. And if you looked at stuff that wasn't 3D, it kind of had these two different colors. So that's what these colors kind of remind me of. Let me wipe my hands real quick. Because I don't want to get my other card dirty. So I cut a bunch of cardstock because I am totally going to make a bunch of these cards. So let me get my mess cleaned up. I need to remember to wash those masks though, right? Before I go and do my magenta ones, because now I have muddied it up. I have put that pink, but here's our pretty little set. So we've got here's our card, the inside, and our pretty little matching envelope. So I like to do my envelopes at the same time so then it's all ready to grab. So here's the one I was messing with earlier. I don't know if I showed this one or not. So this is how I got my colors. And then you could see here, and that's why I ended up using the tape, because I was like, well, heck, it was perfect till I got that over sponging. So definitely just, use the, use either washi tape, even if you just put a piece of copy paper, just kind of, but what's nice about the Post-it tape, and I just get this off of Amazon, it also works great to hold your dies in place when you're running them through the die machine. Now you can use it over and over. I was kind of tossing it away because it had the color on it, but when you use it with the dies, you can use it quite a few times. But just be aware of where the mask ends and that you are getting ink on your fingers as well. So just kind of, take your time, enjoy it. Don't be stressed. But I just love how these turned out. And to me, I just like the one ink color. It's just more pure. You're not muddying two colors together. So what I would do is play around. If you pick two different colors, pick ones that are really, really close. Because even though these ones looked, close, they're a little freaky to the eyeball, right? When you put them together. Oh, what do I store my blending brushes in? Joanne says, hi, Carol, you are a little bit. And McKenna, yay, McKenna, sweetie girl is here. Where to ink with the light and then the darker. So that's what these masks are good for, because if you just use the same color, that's the thing too, I didn't have to worry, right? Because I was just going over the same color. So with the masks, you scoot it down. So watch the video, you scoot it down because there's these circles. So when I did this skinny one first, and then I scooted it up, and then you match this circle, and this circle with that circle, and that circle. And then when you do the sponging, it leaves the white, and that's those two colors, right? But it leaves the white around, and then you're just basically going over top again with the same color, which makes it darker. As for what I put my sponges in, I just have, I have like these little Ray Dunn things. I have like a little thing off to the side. So anyways, so they just kind of go in there. I don't know, can you see? Can you see my masks? I'm like afraid, I'm like looking, make sure there's nothing here that you can't see. But see, they're like right there. So I just grab them. They have their names on them. So hopefully you didn't see it. I'm like going, ooh, what's over there? But that's what I have them in. So I did the skinny before the thicker. So shall we try the opposite? Do you want me to try the opposite while you're on here? I mean, I can try the opposite. Anything for you guys. I would do whatever. All right, so hold on a minute. Hang on a minute. Let's bring this back over. Oh my gosh, yeah, don't drop them on my foot. No kidding. My foot is still taking forever to heal. All right, so let me wipe this off and go back to the pink. So let's see. Let us see if I do the one before the other. So I'm just washing these off. On my lap, I've got black sweatpants on. And then you can't see how much ink's going to be on them probably. All right. All right, so let's try the big ones first. All right, I'm just going to do it right in the center because this is just a play piece, right? All right, so we're going to do the big one first and see. Maybe it will be better. All right. So let's see here, Magenta Madness. All right. So let's just hold that on here. All right, so here we go. Oh, where do I buy? Where do I buy what, Joanne? All right, so here we go. Now we're doing the opposite, right? Because the other time I did this one first. So now this one is going to have the lighter of the ink because, so this is the bigger one. You know, it's got the more, it's allowing more blending brush color to go through. The mask is like got, well, they're not, I don't know what I'm talking about because this has more, but these are the bigger lines. The bigger lines is what I'm talking about. All right, so there is that one. So now we're going down. All right, so you do the same thing, right? So now you got to get your circles lined up. I think that's why I went the other way because I had trouble getting my circles to line up. So see, my circles don't line up as good this way. All right. So we're just going to go with it. So what I'm paying attention to is when I do it this way, I'm paying attention to this circle is lined up and the lines of this flower are within this, right? Because see what I mean? If I scoot it off, see how that's not lined up? So I'm paying attention to this circle and the lines on this flower and not necessarily these circles. Like I wouldn't know why it doesn't do it down this way, but anyways. All right. So now we're going to go with the same color, but I want to say that this won't work. Because, well, let's just see, right? The containers from, oh, that was just TJ Maxx. It's just a Ray Dunn stuff. TJ Maxx or Home Goods or whatever. All right. Oops, it scooted a little bit, but still. All right. Oh, for heck's sake. Put it back. But I want to say this is going to be too... This is going to cover too much. Because see, it cut like you have to do the little one first because now, but see what I mean? Let me bring the other color. But see, I'm glad you asked that. All right. All right. Let's compare the two. Scoot, scoot, scoot. Get that tape off of there. Let's compare. Let's do a comparison. So see, See the difference? Because this ended up covering up too much of the other color. Does that make sense? So fussle. So see, that's why you kind of want to do the skinny, because now this looks totally different. So I think the only way to do it this way would be if you did a real lighter color. So to me, it was, you know, and I think that's why I ended up going with the smaller one, because just from me farting around earlier, it just didn't look right. And then I just, you know, went from, you know, so this to me, that's why I went top. So start here and then move it and do that one. So that's why I just put my arrow up and down. So up and down, up and down. So anyways, you're welcome, Lisa. All right. So yeah, so the first one, but I'm glad you asked, because now it, you know, it makes sense, right? Because this, all of a sudden, you were going over too much of the flower. Not that this is not pretty, you know, I wouldn't throw it away. I mean, I will, because I've got over, you know, like I used the brush over it because I wasn't really paying attention. But, so that was a great question. I love questions. So there, and especially if I can answer them. And then if you don't mind me, like, actually, like, well, let's do a science experiment. So, but, so yeah, the first one, it shows that white, right? You have the white, it's the white, the light pink, and the dark pink. So you have much more, a variety. So anyways, the masks is very cool. So it is in the mini catalog, and, so you can, it starts, hang on a minute. If you're a demonstrator, you can get them right now. If you're joining my team, you can put it in your starter kit right now. So the item number is 158142. And then the blending brushes are in the main catalog. Same with the finger daubers. January the 4th. So this January 4th, this becomes live. And then I will be able to do the catalog walkthrough, because I will be able to open it. Right now, I can't open it to show you. So anyways, so hopefully you enjoy that. I am going to sit here and make, I don't know how many cut. I think I cut 10. Oh, look, I'm too close. I think I cut 10 just because I thought, you know what? I'm going to sit and make some of these cards up, because it's very, like, and this is a great assembly line, right? Like, do your pinks, you know, do all your pinks, and then you come back and do your greens, then do your greetings. So, but don't forget to do your envelopes, right? When you're doing it. So your envelope is all ready to go. And I probably will go back and add some green to the envelope, but just make sure you leave space for your return address and the person's name. You don't want to get too much stamping going on, and where you're going to write the person's name. So anyways, all right. So are you finding it too flimsy, Lisa? Not too bad. I mean, the blending brushes are like, they're like blending with a kitty. They're just so soft. So they're not too bad. I think if I don't think I would sponge dauber through the flowers. The leaves, okay, but I'm just going pounce, pounce, pounce. So just don't scrub, right? But like that one I showed at the beginning when I opened up the thing, it is very flimsy. So I don't know how much I will be using that one, but the flowers aren't too bad. The butterfly is a good one too, because there's like quite a bit of mask around it. But you know, just play, just be gentle, right? Because it is just plastic. So anyways, but So anyways, all right. So I'm going to say see you later. I don't think I see any more questions. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I so appreciate it. I will be back tomorrow for my What Ya Making Wednesdays. And that's at 3 o'clock Arizona time, same channel. And, all right, Lisa. And then, and who knows what I'm going to show. Sometimes it's a surprise, even for me. So anyway, so thank you so much for joining me tonight. It was raining quite a bit earlier here in Arizona again. And so hopefully wherever you are, the weather isn't too bad. So anyways, all right, stop blabbing, Diana. Be quiet. Zip. All right, see you tomorrow. Bye for now.